I can't wait to show you my toys.
Mamma mia, let me go.
Let's do something fun.
Suicide Squad is the new DC Extended Universe film. It's directed by David Ayer and stars Will Smith, Margot Robbie, Viola Davis, Jared Leto, among many other people, because this is a pretty big cast. So basically, Viola Davis plays Amanda Waller, and she decides, hey, what would happen if a bad version of Superman popped up here on Earth? Who would stop him? So let's take a bunch of bad guys and put them on a team. Obviously, we can control them, and we can throw them under the bus if anything bad happens or whatever. So it's gonna work, right? So yeah, that's the basic gist of it. So I'm gonna go into the positives first. Positives. Will Smith, great. He doesn't overshine anybody, and he's not like the main focus of the film. And they do give him a lot of backstory, and you do feel for that guy. You do feel for Deadshot. Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn was fantastic. Also gets a lot of backstory, and she does get humanized. She's not like this completely crazy chick. Viola Davis was amazing as Amanda Waller. Jai Courtney, he was actually good for once, even though he's more like a background character. He's not like a main focus. Whenever he pops up, he's actually enjoyable and funny, and he works. And you have obviously Jared Leto as the Joker. So first of all, he's not in the film much. He is sprinkled in there throughout the film. He's not like just in the beginning or something like that. He is sprinkled throughout the film, but he doesn't have a lot of lines or anything. But I thought it was really great. I do like the way he's portraying the character. I do want to see more. So let's hope that he pops up in the next Batman film that Ben Affleck's directing, because I really want to see like a Jared Leto Joker-centric film, because you can tell that it could really lead to some really great stuff. And also, well, the film is actually pretty fun. It does have a lot of humor, and it is entertaining. The Suicide Squad itself, like the team, they work well together, they have great chemistry, and you buy that. The problem is the film around the Suicide Squad. First problem, the mission itself. It's one of those things where, like they're like, oh, we have to form this group because we could use their special abilities, and so this villain pops up, a terrible villain, by the way, and a complete waste, who has this plan of, taking over the world, because that's what a villain has to do. Just a completely simple, just horrible villain. And they kind of have to go and take that villain out. But you never get the sense of why they have to send the Suicide Squad to that mission in particular. And so that kind of happens with the narrative a lot, where some things just don't make sense, and you're kind of left wondering, like, why is that happening, or are they doing this? The editing of the film itself it's also pretty bad, and you can definitely tell when shit was kind of like done in the reshoots. You can tell, oh, that was just added in there just for like a little bit more action, or you can tell when things are missing. And it kind of sucks, because you do feel that there's more to this movie than what you're seeing on the screen. And I hope it's included on Blu-ray. Going back to the Joker and Harley Quinn, they're like a couple, and they do show you like, flashbacks of how that started, but you never really feel like, okay, I understand why Harley Quinn would fall in love with this dude. It just kind of happens to just kind of tell you like, oh, they fell in love, so now she's basically going to do whatever he wants. And it's a disappointment, because like in comics or even video games like Batman Arkham Origins, you do get those moments where the Joker's talking to her, and you can kind of understand, okay, this is why she's falling in love with him. You never get those moments here, and it just kind of happened. Like they just kind of want you to kind of go with it. Like, yeah, she's like this like psychologist or whatever, but she just kind of like fell in love with this crazy dude. Because hey, why not? So yeah, that was kind of disappointing. I did want to see more of that like relationship. But in the present day scenes, it does work great. I just wish that we would have gotten like a better explanation as to how that ended up happening. Well, the action itself. Now, the action basically revolves around the Suicide Squad fighting like these faceless minions that all look the same, and you know that's kind of like how the film kind of goes on. It goes to this scene, those dudes pop up, they start, you know, beating them up, and then they move on to like next part, and more of those dudes pop up, and you never really feel like they're in danger. Like you never feel like, holy shit, they're gonna get killed in this fight, because they're all just kind of like whacking everybody up, and it's like over, and they move on to the next one. So yeah, that part was pretty disappointing. Even though we were having kind of fun watching it, it's pretty entertaining. It doesn't have like that substance or that like fear of them getting killed, or half the characters you're not really latched onto, because aside from Harley Quinn, Deadshot, and El Diablo, the rest of the Suicide Squad is kind of like a quick little backstory that's like 15 seconds long, and that's it. And so it was like, okay, whatever, if anything happens to them, I don't care. And as long as Deadshot, Harley Quinn, and El Diablo are okay, then I don't care. And so yeah, this film, it's a fun film. You can go watch it and you'll have fun for sure. But it does lack like a good narrative and like a good mission, and just like editing and the way things happen, and the villain, which was just absolutely terrible, and is one of the main reasons why the mission as a whole just doesn't work. It's just a really big disappointment. Like you could definitely tell that most of the time they focused on the team itself, and that they kind of worked together well and getting the tone right, and that they got right. But the narrative is just really kind of bad. It's really bad. I would have wished we got an interesting mission, because I just wasn't invested on the mission at all. So yeah, I'd say go watch Suicide Squad, because it definitely is a fun time at the theater, but it is lacking a lot of stuff. Half of the team doesn't get character development. The storyline itself is pretty bad, but you can have some fun with it, and you know, characters like the Joker and Harley Quinn, it's awesome kind of seeing them again like in live action and seeing these portrayals. So yeah, I'll probably do a spoiler review for this movie, because there's a lot I want to talk about that I can't really talk about in depth here, because it would spoil some things, like the villainess, which has been kind of kept under wraps. So yeah, go watch the film, just don't really expect much from it other than a fun time, because that's really it. So if you like this video, you can subscribe, and thanks for watching.